What's going on, One Pride? We are back. It is game season. We are ready to go. I am so excited to be back here for the pre-game show right before our game. We are excited. This is a divisional opponent, the game opener. This might be the most important game of the year. This is a must-win, and I cannot wait to get started. We have some special guests from the Bear Down podcast, but we're going to get to that in a second. First of all, I'm going to go to my panelist here right next to me on the right, Luke G. What up? Say what up to everybody in the chat.
It's opening day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the day that you should be so excited about. It's opening day. We have Bear Down in the building. You asked for it. We got them. We have real Bear fans, Bear YouTubers. Their channels are linked in the description, so make sure you subscribe to them because you're going to find out everything about our enemy. Sorry, Chris. But this is the day that we've been waiting on. Opening day. Let's get it.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. We've been waiting for this for a long time. It's been a long quarantine year, and I can't wait to get started. J-Mo, what's going on with you, my brother?
Man, what's good? I've been waiting all week because I know we got some guests on, but people from their fan base have been talking out of pocket, so I can't wait for this blowout today. I'm just so happy because I haven't really been feeling like it's football starting until today, so I'm ready.
All right, J-Mo's already bringing heat, man. You need to relax, man.
Already. I'm not about to show any respect to Care Bears and Care Bears fans.
Hey,
bro.
man.
Like, you already know.
If history repeats itself, man, opening days don't look very good for the Patricia regime. So let's see how that works out. Jim and Tim from Lions on the Prowl, aka the Lions Room, the Detroit Sports Room. What's going on, Jim and Tim?
Oh man, I am pumped. We got a game coming up in an hour and a half. Been waiting so long in this weird year, and welcome the Bears podcast friends too from the other opposing side. Unfortunately, my wife is a Bears fan, so we have to deal with that in the household today too.
Yeah, well, my wife's a Patriots fan, so
Wow.
yeah.
I don't know who has it worse. Today I do.
Today it's you, man. You take the cake for sure.
Right.
But now we are going to get to our special guests, and these are from the Bear Down podcast, one of the YouTube channels for the Chicago Bears. You guys got to check them out if you haven't already. Even if you're not a Bears fan, you should check them out just to, spy on the rivals from our division. So, Parth, what's going on, man? Say hello to the people in the chat.
What's up, guys? We're here from Bear Down. We've been running Bear Down for around 2 years now, and it's exciting. It's game day. I don't think I've ever been so excited about game day in a long time. We haven't had football in almost 6-7 months, I feel like. And Bears fans, I know, are excited. I know you Lions fans are excited. You guys got Matthew Stafford back, so I know you guys are pumped about that. So let's have a good game tonight. Today.
Absolutely, man. We are excited to have you guys on here. We really haven't had too many Bears fans on besides Jim's wife. We're excited to have you guys and have your perspective as well. Chris, why don't you say hi to the people in the chat as well?
How's it going, guys? You know what? Regardless of the outcome today, I think we can all agree that there's football back, and we have to be grateful for that. Parth and I, both college students, we've been at home for 6-7 months waiting for this to happen. And we're excited to be back. It should be a good game. And I think we can all agree that no matter what, screw the Vikings and screw the Packers.
Yeah, we can all agree to that, brother.
Yeah, we all agree to that.
All right. And last but not least, from the Bear Down podcast, we have one more guy from the DSA, but from the Bear Down podcast as well. This is Jalen. Can you hear us, Jalen?
Yeah,
I know you had some mic problems.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Say hello to the people in the chat, my man.
What's up, Lions fans? Anybody watching? I'm Jalen from the Bear Down podcast. Like Parth and Chris said, we've been running this show for like two and a half years or something like that. I'm happy to be included. Usually people who have us on the podcast usually just get Chris. So I'm just happy to talk to some Lions fans, even though you guys are taking the L today. But we'll talk about that later.
Look, J-Mo, he came in.
Bro, I'm not fade. Like, we're gonna beat them so bad. I'm gonna be laughing during the game.
Hey,
Like,
it's funny though because like when I started listening to the Bear Down podcast, Jalen would come in like everybody else would be like real hype, and Jalen would come in with a real smooth voice, like, "Yeah, but we still winning." Like it would be just that smooth. Real
All right.
calm.
I need to throw one of you guys out here because we have one more panelist on the panel, and that's Right or Wrong. What's going on, my man, Ryder?
What's going on? I'm so excited for football today, dude. I've been waiting so long. I need Lions football back, dude.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we're all just so excited to be here. And why don't we just get started? Because there's just so much to talk about and not enough time because we really only have less than an hour and a half. So let's get started. The first question we have for everybody today is this. What match favors the Lions today against the Bears? Why don't we start out with you, Luke?
I think the matchup that favors the Lions the most today versus the Bears, to me, is going to be our run offense versus their run defense. I think that matchup is going to change the whole dynamic of this game. For the longest, the Lions have been completely one-dimensional, where we just pass some more, pass again, then pass some more. And I think now with having Kerryon, DeAndre Swift, having Adrian Peterson. That sounds so weird, y'all. Adrian Peterson is a Detroit Lion. They're going to run the ball. You got Jonah Jackson for a reason. They're going to run the ball. And I think that matchup is the one that I am looking at. People saying they're saying that it's choppy. If it's choppy, let us know when it's chopping up. If it's chopping up on me, then I would make the adjustment to fix my mic. But if it's not, let me know. Okay. So, but yeah, I think that matchup of the run is what we should look forward to in terms of the matchup that favors the Lions.
Okay, I mean that's fair to say. The run, I mean, we don't really know what to expect because we haven't had a good run game in like a decade. Finally have Adrian Peterson, drafted Swift in the second round, so we don't know how that's going to work. Kerryon's back from injury, and obviously Bo Scarborough bursted onto the scene last year, so we're going to see what happens. But Chris, we want to hear from you, man. We want to hear from your perspective as a Bears fan. What do you think? What matchup favors the Lions today, man?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I think it's a pretty simple one for me. And you're going to get similar answers from Jalen and Parth, but when I look at it, I think the matchup that favors the Lions the most has to be their defensive line versus the Bears' offensive line. The Bears' offensive line, not the greatest in 2019, finished ranked 27th in the league, I believe. Kyle Long retires. They bring in Jermaine Ifedi, of all people, who isn't looking exactly the greatest. Was a guard for the Seattle Seahawks and was not the greatest at all last year. I'll be honest. I like what the Lions did in their front seven this offseason. Obviously, they bring in Danny Shelton. They still have Trey Flowers, guys like Julian Okwara, Nick Williams, a former Bear. So I think, as much as I want the Bears to punch the ball as well, I know their offensive line isn't going to improve a ton going into this year. So I think that the Lions can take advantage of that, and they'll be able to definitely create some pressure on Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay, all right. I mean, that's what I like to hear. I like to hear pressure on Mitchell Trubisky. Sounds like a winning combination. But all right, we're going to go to Ryder. What's going on, Ryder? What do you think, man, before we get to Chris's compadres from his podcast, because he said they might say some similar answers. What do you think, man? What is a matchup that favors the Lions today, man?
I think it'll be the run game in the red zone because, as Luke said, and as you said, we've added so much to this, run game and Adrian Peterson. We drafted DeAndre Swift. We drafted Jonah Jackson. And, the Bears last year were not a great rushing team in the red zone. I believe they allowed they were 5th or 6th highest in rushing touchdowns allowed last season or something like that. I mean, they allowed a lot of rushing touchdowns. And I just think with all the capital, all the stuff we've put into our run game, I think that, I think it's going to be good for the Lions with all that, that we put in. I think it's going to help us put some touchdowns in the end zone.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so because our red zone efficiency wasn't that great last year, man. Jalen. Yes,
real?
Yes, Luke. Yes.
They're saying that it's choppy. They said check your internet status. They said that everyone is choppy. Some people are saying it's going fine, but some people are saying it's going very choppy. So I don't know if the connection is missing or what the deal is.
Let me I got a lot of tabs open. Let me exit out all these tabs, see if that helps out. But I don't know besides that what I could really do. Because my internet's fine. I mean, I'm hearing you guys crystal clear.
Yeah, I don't know why it's coming in choppy. I don't know if they doing maintenance on YouTube. I pray to God they not. This is the wrong day for that.
Right, exactly.
The wrong day. But yeah, they said it's a little choppy. So if the choppiness continues, just let us know. We'll try to work through it. I just want to kind of bring you up to speed on that, real.
No, I appreciate that. I just deleted like a million tabs. I had a lot of tabs open, so that might have been my bad. Let us know if that continues. I'm not. Maybe I'll just restart my router and back out for a second. But if that continues, please let us know. I appreciate that, everybody in the chat.
All right.
But get into Jalen, man. What do you think? What matchup favors the Lions today, man?
I'm gonna have to agree with what Chris said. This offensive line still scares me. Pace didn't do a good job at bringing anything to upgrade this position, especially due to Kyle Long retiring. I'm not a big fan of Jermaine Fetty. I still don't understand why we brought him in. But if this Lions defensive line can like Chris said, put pressure on Mitchell Trubisky, I'm not gonna be a happy Bears fan today. But because Mitchell gets scared in the pocket sometimes. I don't know why, and that seems to mess up his mental. He's mentally unstable in the pocket. So if that can happen and he throws up some bad balls, I wouldn't be surprised if some Lions cornerbacks can get some interceptions on him this game.
You know what's funny about that though, like what you just said about Mitchell Trubisky, he still is 3-0 against Matt Patricia.
I know, and I'm happy about that.
Two of those games Stafford didn't play, so let's come on. That's statistically a little bit.
A win is a win, though.
Okay, but hold on. He still is like almost 75% on completions against Matt Patricia's Lions.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let me tell you why. Because one of the things that they're saying is such a weak point on the Bears is this offensive line. Well, you know what's been a weak point? Our defensive line. We have been historically bad at putting up pressure. So honestly, even if you guys didn't even have an offensive line, I'm not sure if we're gonna even get a sack on Trubisky today. So all right, we're gonna get to you, Parth, man. What do you think is a good matchup that favors the Lions today?
I'm gonna go with your guys' wide receivers versus our secondary. I love the Bears secondary. I think we've been amazing for the last 2 years, especially. But we haven't faced Matthew Stafford in a long time, and Stafford's a talented quarterback. He's a hell of a quarterback. I think he can do many things that people are underrated him in. And I think with it does suck with Kenny Galladay out for you guys, but I think Marvin Jones Jr. is still a great receiver. You guys still have Danny Amendola. And TJ Hawkinson's bound for a great year, in my opinion. Rookie tight ends have a tough time usually adjusting to the NFL, but it's his second year. I think he's going to start off well, and if he can go off today, it could be the case because of a couple misreads by our secondary. We have rookie cornerback Jalen Johnson starting today, so that's a huge plus for you guys if he has a little bit of tough time adjusting to the NFL. It's not easy, in my opinion. And then we have nickel corner Buster Screen, who I'm not the most happiest about starting still. I feel like we got him just for a year rental, but I guess they still kept him around, so I guess that's there. And then Kyle Fuller, who had a pretty decent season last year, so hopefully he can pick it back up to 2018 level. I feel like the whole Bears team took a step down from 2018 if you look at everyone's stats basically. But yeah, I think your guys' wide receivers can have a pretty good day against our secondary.
Awesome. You know what? I love that answer, and I'm just going to piggyback off that real quick, man. Stafford. Yeah, you said it, man. You haven't faced Stafford in a while, and he's hearing all the BS, man. He's hearing that the Bears have owned the Lions the past 2 years, and Stafford's sitting there like, excuse me, I've owned the Bears for the last decade. I don't want to hear this nonsense. So, and you know what else? He talked to Nate Burleson on Good Morning Football, and he told him that he's going for the MVP this year. I've never seen a Stafford with this much hunger in his belly and this much ferocity in his eyes. So I'm excited to see what he does this year, especially if he has a full season under his belt with Bevel, because we have not seen him with a competent offensive coordinator and play caller since Linehan and those days where he was throwing 5,000 yards a year. So I cannot wait to see what happens this year. And this first game is going to be very, very, very telling. So I'm going to throw some of you guys out right now because we have two guys waiting in the wings, but those were awesome questions, guys. All right, so Jim and JMO, we're gonna start off with you, JMO, and Tim as well. I'm sorry. So JMO, we're gonna start off with you, man. What do you think What matchup favors the Lions today, man?
The matchup that favors the Lions definitely is Stafford, even without Kenny Galladay, versus that secondary. I know the Bears fans, you want to be confident in your team, but you just told me things that made me more confident. You told me y'all offensive line in question. Oh, then it's a wrap. Then you told me that you got a rookie cornerback starting. It's all bad. So when I'm looking at it from that perspective, yeah, I think Stafford's gonna carve them up. That's and it's gonna be after we run the ball and do play action, and TJ Hawkinson is gonna have one of them games again. So it's definitely the wide receiver matchup. I think I definitely think we can score on the Bears if our offensive line can slow down the pass rush.
Yeah. That's exactly what I've been hearing that as well. I'm excited to see what happens, man, for sure. Jim, what are you thinking? What matchup do you think favors the Lions today?
Well, and it hadn't been taken for quite a while. And then all of a sudden, it was like everybody had the same one. So, it is the wide receivers and tight ends for the Lions versus the secondary of the Bears. We have a rookie plan on their team. There's a bunch of reasons why, but Matthew Stafford's the number one reason. Matthew Stafford gets any time at all, he's going to be able to cut these guys up. You forget about the running backs out of the backfield like DeAndre Swift. If he gets some time, he can catch the ball, and then that's a dangerous thing for them too. I think if Stafford gets any time whatsoever, it's going to be the wide receivers versus them. We don't have Galladay, but I am looking forward to seeing maybe Quintez Cephas today, and that would be great.
Marvin Hall is going to eat.
And Marvin Hall is going to eat. Oh God, yes. I believe that too. But I really do want to see if because I know Danny Amendola had a hamstring injury as well. I don't know if he's playing or not, but I would love to see Quintez Cephas against this team.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. That'd be awesome. See what he does. That wide receiver core is deep, even though Galladay, seems like he's hurt. All right, Tim, what about you, man? What do you think? What matchup favors the Lions?
I think that the Lions being a two-dimensional offense is really going to favor it. So our offense versus their defense. Because if we can go ahead and actually Stafford being able to throw the ball all around and stuff, and we get that running game going, man, that's going to be hell on your guys' defense.
Oh, I love that, Tim.
And if we go ahead and put that dagger in there and keep that dagger to your throat, man, watch out.
Yeah, I think that's why Stafford is so confident and cocky. He's like, you're giving me a run game this year? He's like, I'm going to MVP 100%. I'm ready for this. Let's go. I don't know who just dropped out from the Bears down, but hopefully he comes back soon. Oh, he's back already. Okay, so let's flip the script, and we're going to switch it up and go the opposite direction. What matchup favors the Bears this time? And I cannot wait to hear what the guys from Bear Down say about this one. But I think the guys from the Lions, the DSA, they're going to say a very similar thing, man. I think it's going to be the Bears front seven against our new look O-line. Luke, what do you think, man? What matchup favors the Bears?
Listen, this going to scare y'all. This going to shock you. But I really believe it's their receiving core versus our secondary. Listen, man. You
bugging.
They got AR-15. They still got Anthony Miller. Listen, I'm staying with you, but there's the problem. The quarterback is mobile. For some reason, he does a very good job of extending plays against the Lions. And I'm just looking at that ability of him being able to extend plays and those receivers' ability to keep working to get open. And our secondary ain't proven. Desmond Trufant is, I'm not finna sit here and act like Desmond Trufant moving nobody's needle. Desmond Trufant is one of them guys that already been hobbled by injury. And then you're talking about Okuda's not playing, but I do love me some Amani. So hey, I ain't gonna kill nobody. But I just feel like their passing game against our secondary, it needs to be questioned, because whether we want to believe it or not, we have to be able to put pressure on the quarterback, and we haven't had a game to see that we can do that yet. So for me, I'm going their receiving core versus our secondary.
Wow.
Yeah. Told you you're gonna be shocked. Don't
I am
shoot the
shocked,
messenger.
man. Like I'm baffled.
I am.
Man, moving. I've been led astray. Like
We've invested so much into our secondary that I am shocked hearing that. And I understand, Okuda's not playing and stuff like that, but we've invested enough in our secondary for that not to be the main problem, in my opinion. But Ryder, what do you think, man? What matchup do you think favors the Bears today?
I mean, I think it's just Khalil Mack like it always is. And, I know Khalil Mack, he's not 100% healthy, obviously, because he hasn't been, fully practicing all week. He's been questionable all week. But, I mean, he's still Khalil Mack, and he's still going to be moving all around the defensive line. And with Big V not even being in the game, he's not going to be playing this Sunday. Like that, a Khalil Mack versus a backup tackle does not work for the backup tackle. So, I mean, that matchup scares me quite a bit.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I mean, I'm with you 100% on that one. Jim and Tim, man, whoever wants to go first, take this one. Or Jim's wife, if she wants to jump in as well.
She's not on. She's not on. She's somewhere else right now. I don't know where she's at.
All right, man. What matchup favors the Bears today?
It's their front seven versus our offensive line. I think I know that Trubisky's been mobile in the past, but Jamie Collins kind of spies on that, and I think that he can shut that down. And we got other players that are faster and stuff like that. I think that could be a spy on that quarterback that we can limit that a little bit better than we could before just because of the personnel changes. But you got to look at the Bears with Danny Trevathan. You got Akeem Hicks. You got Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith. I mean, kind of the list goes on and on for them. Linebacking core and their defensive line. We're starting a rookie right guard. We're starting a backup right tackle. And I don't know. I don't know. I think that's the matchup to be looking at.
No, we definitely saw that. 2 years ago when they won 12 games, it's like that defense was just mind-numbingly scary for sure. And we saw what happens. They were the healthiest team in the whole league, and they won 12 games, and they won a playoff runs. But we saw what can happen if they stay healthy. So yeah, I'm with you there, Jim, 100%. Tim, what do you think, man? What do you think is the matchup that favors the Bears today?
Well, I gotta almost echo that because I don't think even with Big V in there that the Lions did enough to really fix their offensive line. And with how these two teams know each other, and Khalil Mack being in there, it could be hell for Stafford. So I gotta say the offensive and defensive lines.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like again, man, that front seven is scary, and our offensive line has a lot of question marks. So I'm with you there, man. J-Mo, what do you think, man? What matchup favors the Bears today?
Well, I mean, y'all been talking about the defense. I will talk about the offense, but not no damn wide receivers. They're running it. I think the Bears have some solid running backs, Cohen and Montgomery, and we sometimes struggle with some of those power running backs like Montgomery. And when we did play Montgomery, he was breaking tackles. Now, I know this team is a little bit different. We got guys like, Jamie Collins and Danny Shelton, but the Lions haven't proved to me that they can stop the run. And if the Bears are going to be competitive in this game, if they're going to find a way to at least, try to come close to losing by 10, it's going to be because they running the ball. So, and I think that can open up Mitchell Trubisky, and then that's when they'll throw you off balance with those mobile plays because you're worrying about the running game. But at the end of the day, that's the thing that I most fear about them, besides the defense, of course, is that running game, because the Lions haven't shown me that they can stop it.
I'm sorry, I had to, my mic was muted.
I was wondering. I'm like, what happened?
I was talking, I was going off, but J-Mo, I 100% agree with you, man. But I'm gonna throw a couple of you guys out. I got to get these Bear Down guys in here because I got to get their opinion for sure, man. This is gonna be awesome. So, guys, I'm gonna start off with you, Parth, man.
Yeah.
Who do you think? What matchup favors the Bears today? And it doesn't have to be a person. I phrased that weird. What matchup favors the Bears today?
I'm just gonna go with Trubisky versus your guys' defense. I don't think you guys have stopped Trubisky the last.
That is bold, man.
Yeah, it is bold.
Oh man,
I'm gonna start.
Your own man is saying you're bold, man.
I don't think it's. I don't think.
I was rooting for Foles all training camp. Don't worry about me.
Okay.
Go ahead, man.
I don't think it's bold. I mean, if you look at Mitchell Trubisky's stats versus the Lions, he's put up 3-0 the last 2 years, 75% completion rate. He's put up around 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns and 1 interception in 3 games. So he's had a field day against the Lions, and I think he can continue that if the Bears can spread out the ball and get that run game going. And the Lions defense has not proved me that they can stop Trubisky yet. So, yeah, I'm just going to put that out there.
You know, when you were reading those stats, I almost got physically ill. I almost needed to. We let that much up on Trubisky? That is that's unforgivable.
Yes.
Come on.
Listen. That's why when I brought it up at the beginning of the thing, I was just looking at all the fun facts pertaining to the Lions. Like, fun fact, Matt Patricia is 1-1 in week 1. Fun fact, Mitchell Trubisky is almost 75% completion percentage. Fun fact, Mitchell Trubisky has more time in the pocket under Matt Patricia's defense than any other team he played. And he's thrown less interceptions versus the Detroit Lions under Matt Patricia than any other team he's played. So that's why I was like, look, they receiving core versus our secondary, because if we're not putting heat and pressure on the quarterback, who is mobile, for some reason and the sad part is when we cap him in the pocket, he still did enough to get out to get the ball to the receiver. So I'm just saying, I think he got a good point.
Yeah, I hope we put a spy on him, to be honest with you, because I'm more scared of his running ability against the Lions for sure. All right, Jalen, what do you think, man? What matchup favors the Bears today?
So I would be my normal self and say like our whole team, favors pretty well. But I want to try to be professional. So I'm a Luke beat me to it. I was gonna say the receivers versus you guys' secondary. I'm not even gonna try to speak about Allen Robinson, because I'm pretty sure everybody in the show knows that Allen Robinson is a great receiver. He's done it against many teams, but I'm gonna go with Anthony Miller. Anthony Miller put up like 140 last time he played you guys against Justin Coleman, who you guys just gave big money to bring him in. So I'm gonna go with Anthony Miller, and then Mitchell Trubisky has played very well against you guys. I'm a huge Mitch fan. I'm pretty sure he's gonna play great today to continue to be our starting quarterback. But I'm kind of mad Luke G beat me too. I was gonna, try to shock the whole podcast.
Hey, listen, great minds think alike.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, hey, I don't know this. I'm literally asking this question. When Justin Coleman was up against Anthony Miller, was he playing on the outside or was it a slot?
No,
was he in the slot?
Anthony Miller usually plays in the slot, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was definitely in the slot.
Yep.
All right. Damn, that's very unfortunate to hear. Chris, man, what do you think, man? What do you think? What matchup favors the Bears today?
I mean, you have to look at the matchups along the offensive line if you want to look at where the Bears are going to succeed. Khalil Mack versus Tyrell Crosby, Akeem Hicks versus Jonah Jackson, who I do like a lot, who's a great rookie, but Akeem Hicks is a different beast. And then also, you can't overlook Barkevious Mingo. Obviously, Robert Quinn's out with a sprained ankle or something like that, but Barkevious Mingo is a 7-year veteran in this league. He's going to get the chance to go against Taylor Decker. We'll see how that goes, but I think this Bears front seven has to take advantage of the opportunity that they have, especially Khalil Mack. We're lucky that he's playing in this game. You mentioned it earlier. Big V is going to be out for this one. If the Bears can force pressure on Stafford, it could lead to some errant throws, which can make things easier for our secondary. Obviously, Parth earlier was raving about how good of a quarterback Stafford is and how underrated he is. And frankly, I agree with him. I like Matthew Stafford a lot, and I thought it was cool a couple days ago when he was saying he's coming for the MVP this year, because that doesn't seem too Stafford-esque to say stuff like that. But I think if the Bears can force some pressure, especially Khalil Mack, someone who's thrived against the Lions' offensive line in the past, it can bode well for us down the road.
Awesome, man. It's cool to hear divisional opponents talk about Stafford, because you guys face him twice a year usually, and you guys really see and respect his ability, at least most of you, more than regular Lions fans, it seems like. So I think that's why we're seeing this arrogant Stafford come out, because he's sick of the damn disrespect. All right, so we're going to get on to the next question, guys. All right, so name your game X factor for this game, Bears versus Lions. Luke, we're going to start with you, man. Who's your X factor?
Oh my God, dude! Listen, it's got to be Jonah Jackson. Oh my God!
Wow.
As much as we run goddamn dive plays, man. Listen, I need my guards to be in rare perform, and it starts with Jonah Jackson. He got his work cut out, even though he's going to have help with Frank Ragnow. He got his work cut out with Akeem Hicks. And I'm telling you, if we're going to run these dive plays, it's going to start with Jonah Jackson. He's my X factor for this game. It's like you got Adrian Peterson. AP ain't finna sit here and Barry Sanders juke you. He's trying to run through you. Give him some room to build up some steam. I cannot believe I keep saying that the Lions have Adrian Peterson, but give him some room. And my X factor is Jonah Jackson, hands down, bar none. Jonah Jackson.
All right. Okay, man. That's good. That's a really one that I did not expect to hear. So I'm glad that you said it, and I'm glad that you said it first so that we didn't all have the same thing to say. Ryder, what do you think, man? Who is the X factor of the game today?
It was going to be Jason Huntley before we released him. That one still hurts a bit. But my X factor is Jamal Agnew. And, he's been having a phenomenal camp. He's been playing really, really well throughout Lions training camp. And I think that he has the speed to stretch the field if we need him to, but he also has that ability in the open field where, if we just throw him a screen pass or we give him a reverse, get him out in space, he has that playmaking ability, that breakaway speed, that elusiveness that, if the ball is in his hands, there's a good chance that it's going to be a big play. So I think if the Lions get him involved in the offense with a couple touches, maybe a screen or two, maybe one deep shot, I think that he could have a big impact on the game.
Oh, interesting, man. Interesting. I love this. All right, let's go to our Bears guys, man. Chris, who do you think is the X factor of the Bears-Lions game today?
I would say in regards to the Bears, I think it's got to be David Montgomery. You look at David Montgomery, he went down a couple of weeks ago with a groin strain, and he's going to be back. It was predicted, Ian Rappaport this morning said it looks like he's going to get a full workload in this game, which surprises a lot of Bears fans, frankly. But the Bears, the problem with them last year, and it's pretty obvious, the offensive line failed. And based off that, there was no run game. Matt Nagy's committed multiple times this year to getting back to the run game in 2020. It's going to need to happen early and often. Look, I think we can all agree, just as football fans, that a good running game is a quarterback's best friend. You can't have Mitch throwing the ball 45 times today. You got to be able to rush the ball, whether that's with Cordero Patterson, someone who took running back reps during training camp, Tariq Cohen, someone who's pretty shifty, or David Montgomery. You have to run the ball, but Montgomery's going to have a pretty big load today. So if the Bears can pull this one out, I would say the X factor has to be him.
I am with you there. If the Bears are going to pull one out, it will be on the back of Montgomery, and they will have the clear majority time of possession. That's what I believe. So I'm with you there 100%. Jalen, what do you think, man? Who is the X factor for the Bears-Lions game today?
In my opinion, this all comes down to Mitchell Trubisky. If Mitchell can play like he has played against the Lions, I don't see any other reason for us not to win this game, because for him passing the ball and, getting it to our receivers, that would be able to let us run the ball with David and Tariq and Cordell if we give him, plays in the backfield. And if he doesn't play well, then, we might lose. We can't depend on David Montgomery right now, especially with the offensive line. And, he's still coming off a groin injury to carry us to a win. So if Mitchell can play like Mitchell has against the Lions, that's definitely going to be a win for us.
All right, man. I hate when you keep saying against the Lions, how he's played in the past against the Lions, man. I get it. He's been good against the Lions.
This is coming from a huge fan. Like Parth and Chris be getting on me saying, like, why am I still supporting Mitchell after, two medical, average seasons? And I'm saying, last season was not all on him for why the offense was bad. The offense was terrible because it was a lot of, factors into why the offense was terrible, not just on Mitchell.
No, absolutely, man. We get it. We haven't had a run game in a decade. We get it.
Right.
Yeah.
As Lions fans, if don't nobody else understand, we do.
Yeah. Parth, man, we're gonna get to you, man. Who do you think is the X factor for the game today?
I'm gonna go with Jimmy Graham for the Bears. I feel like the Bears.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, the Bears haven't had a tight end that could do something like Jimmy Graham can do in, I think, 2 or 3 years. Since it's been a while since the Bears have had a productive tight end. So it's going to be great to see Jimmy Graham back on the field. I think with Mitchell Trubisky, who loves throwing to his tight ends, and last year the Bears didn't have a tight end out there for more than 2 weeks, basically. Our practice squad tight end, Jesper Horsey, got a touchdown on you guys our second time around. Remember that, which is a beautiful catch. The first game, Ben Broniker had a touchdown against you guys as well. So tight ends have been pretty effective versus Lions. So I think Jimmy Graham or Cole Kmet could have a touchdown today.
All right. I'm gonna flip the script on you, man. I think the X factor of the game, in my personal opinion, is the tight end of the Lions, C.J. Hawkinson. Man, I think that he needs to get his work in today. I really think that he needs to eat in the middle of the field to open up, things maybe in the flat for Danny Amendola, or runs up the middle because they won't be able to stack the box because they're worried about TJ getting behind them. Or maybe on the outside, letting Marvin Jones go one-on-one, something like that. I think TJ is going to be a huge factor in this game. And if he could get that production that we saw in the early couple games of last year, I think it's going to be very, very dangerous and very, very helpful for the performance of our offense today. All right, I'm going to throw some guys out. Ryder, goodbye. J-Mo, you're in. And next person, somebody. Okay, and then Jim. So, Ryder, man. I mean, J-Mo. I'm all over the place. J-Mo, who's the X factor of the Bears-Lions game today?
Let the record show that Real and Andrew, I know you watching and listening, he just said something positive about TJ Hawkinson.
Hey, listen, I thought it was just me, but I just stayed quiet.
I was talking the whole time while I was backstage. Like, no, he didn't.
Listen, I'm not negative about TJ Hawkinson. It was just a bad pick. He's a great player.
For today's game. Wow.
At least he's playing.
He's the X factor. It's 100% TJ Hawkinson is about to eat. And I think the Bears are not respecting him, and they'll put Eddie Jackson on him, but I don't think they're gonna start off that way. In the first 2 quarters, TJ is gonna be ripping them apart, and then we'll see what happens when Eddie Jackson get on him. But TJ Hawkinson is gonna rip people apart, and the Reals will eat all them words as he continues to break records. Like, I'm gonna be on y'all. I told you, I'm gonna be on you all year about Hawkinson.
That's big expectations, man. He better be breaking records. All right.
Breaking records, dog.
All right, good. Hey, Jim and Tim, who do you guys have as your X factor for today's game?
Oh, I know we all know this, that we drink the Kool-Aid. All right, that's what we talk about here with Lions fans. I have a new drink, and this is going to be my X factor of the game, and I'm going to call it Praterade. Matt Prater is an X factor in this game. Points may be hard to come by. We don't know how good that defense is, and if Matt Prater is on his game, I think it's a huge X factor for us, for him being able to kick long field goals.
Oh yeah, man. He's a beast. I love him. But I thought when you said we drink the Kool-Aid around here, I thought you were going to say the X factor is the Kool-Aid, man. I'm not going to lie.
No. Hey, I would say that was probably the answer that was right.
Exactly. Tim, man, who do you got, man? Who's your X factor for the game?
Well, I have to go with Hawkinson. I think second-year tight end. And, of course, last year, his first year, he had a good game.
First game of the year.
Yeah. So, he scored a touchdown the first game. I think he's going to be real active in blocking, and he's the one that really started the dagger thing. When you go ahead and concentrate on really putting your opponent into your opponent, that brings something. And I'm hoping that the Lions this year are a different team, totally. With that, we'll go ahead and finish what they start. Because last year we had a team that would go ahead and start something, but they never finished. I think you're going to see a lot different this year. So I'm going to say the dagger is more the X factor.
All right. I mean, that's totally fair. I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot. Okay. So these next few questions are all kind of repetitive. So if you guys have other questions for me, just throw them in the private chat, guys, on the panel. But we're just going to go through this list. What do you think the Lions must do to beat the Bears? Let's just combine the two. What do you think the Lions can do to beat the Bears, and what do you think the Lions can do to lose to the Bears? I guess why don't we start off with you, Luke? These are your questions, right?
Yeah, I mean, just listen to me. What the Lions can do to lose to the Bears is have that same defense from last year. No pressure, uninspired, very predictable, leaving your cornerbacks and safeties on the island. And my favorite thing that the Lions seem to do, no matter who we have coaching, forget that we can run the ball. These are things that I look at in terms of how we can lose the game, but in terms of how we can win it, establish the run, utilize your tight ends more, and go after their weakest parts of their team. I mean, they got a rookie cornerback. If Marvin Jones can't take advantage of that rookie cornerback, like, there's something wrong with that picture. You got Adrian Peterson, Kerryon Johnson, and DeAndre Swift. I should see all three of them today. Hell, you should be digging deep into the bottom of the barrel. So to me, the Lions got to find their spirit to commit to the run, and they got to find their defense to commit to not allowing this team to extend plays and leave our players on the island.
You know, Luke, I got a little pushback for you. I just have a question, more than pushback. Look, so in your opinion, when you're talking about we need to establish the run, what does that mean to you? Because when do you abandon the run if it's not working? Because the Chicago Bears have a great front seven, right? And our offensive line has a lot of question marks. So you're running it up the gut. It's not working. When is the point when you're saying, I still need to establish this run? Or when is the point when you're saying, no, we need to abandon this run and let Stafford throw the ball? Because I think that in the past, we've gotten into our heads saying we need to establish the run and then letting games get out of hand, out of pocket, and running away with it because we're still trying to establish the run when in reality we should have just been balling out with Stafford.
So for me, you give up on the run when you get beyond two possessions. Like if you got like a possession and a half, like 2 touchdowns and a field goal, you might want to try to get some quick points with the pass. But as long as you are within one possession, you keep pounding the rock, because that one possession that you have can go either way, and you would rather be the team with the ball last to score. So to show you the best example, which I know Bears fans and Lions fans are gonna hate me for this, go to that Packers game where the Packers got the last possession. It was only one possession. They just ran the ball. They never left it. But then I can fast forward and go to the Saints game where before they missed the pass interference, I'm like, why are you passing the ball? It's one possession. Run the ball, control the clock, take your points, and get off the field. To me, being able to commit to the run is when you understand that the game situation is not out of hand. I can see if you decided to abandon the run and you're down a touchdown with a minute on the clock. Okay, clearly you ain't finna be trying to run the ball. But I see what the Lions do is we get down like 10 points, and all of a sudden we forget that we can run the ball. They can't do that. That's not bad. You got to understand in the situation and run the ball into their spirit. And to me, that's committing to the run. That's where you don't abandon the run. That's where you show that you're establishing the run. Because, yes, we do run a lot of dive plays. We do. But as you've seen from the Kansas City-Houston game, they running back was running wild, right? Houston running back was doing okay, but they never gave up on it because when the game was in one possession, when the game got out of one possession, they went kind of away from it. So that's what I mean by pound the rock and keep establishing a run.
Okay, all right. I like that response because I think that I get on them a little too fast. We get behind in a game and I get worried and I'm like, why aren't you giving Stafford the ball, man? Come on, give Stafford the ball. So I get a little bit too worried.
That like if it's 2 touchdowns, yeah. But I agree with Luke. That what he brought up is something that I've never really paid attention to. If we're down by 10, we never run the ball. We just start passing. And when I'm looking at these other teams that are good running football teams, they do the opposite. So that's something that we're gonna have to be different about. But it's hard when you got Stafford to like not try to throw the ball, and it's not just Stafford. You got Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones. Back in the day, you had Calvin Johnson. How are you not throwing the ball? So it's very tough.
It's very tough, especially if you see your opponent drive down the field and score, and then you start off your drive with 2 runs up the middle for no gain, and now you're 3rd and 10. And now you're thinking, what the hell? We haven't run the ball well for 10 years. Why are we doing this? And putting Stafford in a terrible position. We should be trying to score. And then when a 2-minute drill comes, Stafford just, runs through the field like a hot knife through butter. And you're like, where was this the whole game? We probably could have been up 60 points if we just played like this the whole damn game, So
that huddle, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough situation to be in. Jim and Tim, man. Let's get to you. What do you guys think the Lions need to do to beat the Bears, and what do you think the Lions have to do to lose to the Bears?
I think to beat the Bears, we have to beat that rush. And to do that, I like a draw play. I like some screen passes. I like some quick hitter slants, maybe by Hawkinson and stuff like that. We have to get them off their game. We can't let them just peel their ears back and come after Stafford, because that's a bad recipe. That's how we beat the Bears. That's how we beat the Bears, with the running game, with draw plays, and and Luke refers to the dive plays. I think we do that too much, to be quite honest about it. But
Facts.
But I think we have to throw them off their game just a little bit, so that they have to respect some other portions of the offense, and not just, we're running the ball up the middle all the time and gaining a few yards, and that's all we're doing. We have to mix it up just a little bit with these guys. How do we lose to the Bears? Not keeping Stafford upright, not being able to handle the rush. I think that's what beats the Lions today.
All right, that's fair, man. I don't think we're going away from the running back dive up the middle, man. That's the Bevel special. I don't think that's going anywhere.
Man, no, I disagree, bro. Bevel can adapt, dog. If that's the
Bevel special.
He wouldn't have got Swift if he wanted to do that, man.
Hey, it was working with Bo Scarborough, man. I can't complain when it works, so whatever. So, Tim, man, what do you think, man?
What I think they got to do is they got to not leave points on the field. In order to win, they got to, every time you have the offenses on that field, they got to score, and they got to score touchdowns. And and I don't care if they get 14 points ahead, 21 points ahead, 48 points ahead. Don't stop. Don't get into ball control mode and let it slip away, because that's what happens is they'll go ahead and get to this. Okay, we got a little bit of lead, or we want to keep it close. BS. That has not worked over the years, trying to keep it close. Win, score. Okay.
I like that.
And then the way to lose to the Bears is the exact opposite. Just play, you go ahead and you get a lead, and then you play complacent. You really think you have the game in hand, so you try to just keep it close. Try to just run that clock down. Yeah, run the clock down. But the ultimate way to win is have more points than the Bears do. And if you want Matthew Stafford to be that MVP, it's by scoring. It's by controlling games. It's by being winners. And you got to just go ahead and keep that heat on all the time.
Absolutely. I think we all agree with that one, man. I totally agree with that one. Let's get to right or wrong, and then we'll get to our Bears guys. Writer, man, what do you think? What do you think the Lions must do to beat the Bears today, and what do you think they could do to lose to the Bears today?
So I think the Detroit Lions need to get up early in this game. The Bears are a very defensive team. They like to rely on their defense to win those low-scoring slugfest kind of games. And I think we need to, score points early and make their offense score, make their offense throw the ball, make Mitch Trubisky be the reason that the Bears win. Because to be totally honest, Mitch Trubisky, in my opinion, is not a fantastic thrower, and I think that if we can force Mitch Trubisky to use his arm and throw into tight windows and kind of force some passes, I think the Detroit Lions can take advantage of that and win the football game. But for the Bears to win, if the Detroit Lions cannot take too many deep shots, Stafford cannot hold on to the ball super long, because Khalil Mack is out there. Khalil Mack is hunting, and eventually Khalil Mack is going to get in there if Stafford's holding it too long. And when Stafford's on the ground, the Detroit Lions do not have success. So I think they just got to keep Stafford upright. I think they got to get rid of the ball quick when they're passing, and lean on that run game.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I like that. I think we all agree with that as well. And now we're going to get to the Bears guys, and we're going to switch it up, because you guys obviously know the ins and outs of the Bears depth chart and whatnot. So we're going to ask you guys, and I know you guys have to go in about 10 minutes, so this could be, your final question. What must the Bears do to beat the Lions, and what can the Bears do to make them lose to the Lions today? Let's start off with you, Chris.
Yeah, I think for the Bears to win this game, the most important thing is letting Mitchell Trubisky do his thing and get comfortable. Whoever spoke last just talked about making Mitchell Trubisky throw, but if Mitchell Trubisky is going to throw in this game, the Bears need to make sure it's outside the pocket. They need to make sure that we're running run-pass option and letting Mitch scramble. They got to let him do what he does best. Unfortunately, last year when Nagy tried to make him a pocket passer, it didn't quite work out. You have to play to Mitch's strengths if this offense wants to put points on the board. and that's exactly what the Bears have to do if they want to win this game. Also, just generally speaking, score touchdowns and not field goals, because the Bears got in the red zone way too much last year and ended up settling for 3 or going for it on 4th down and not getting it. And then to lose this game, if the Lions want to win this game, I think it's pretty simple. You got to run the ball and control the time of possession. Something that killed the Bears last year so much, you talk about these defensive slugfests, these low-scoring games, and a good part of the reason why these games are such low-scoring is because the Bears' offense was on and off the field so quickly. The defense was on the field for the majority of the game. In a lot of close games last year that we lost, I would probably blame a majority of it on the offense not being able to stay on the field and the defense just gassing out. So I think if the Detroit Lions can keep the Bears' defense on the field, run the ball. I know someone said it's hard not to pass it with Matthew Stafford, but it could be sloppy today. And no preseason, no OTAs, no minicamp. Running the ball is going to probably be big in this game for both sides. And I think if the Lions do it and can have some success with it, it could bode in their favor.
I like to hear that. That sounds like a recipe for success for me, man. Jalen, what do you think? What do you think the Bears can do to beat the Lions, and what do you think that the Bears can do to lose to the Lions today?
So first of all, for the Bears to win, we, like Chris said, we gotta let Mitchell be Mitchell, get him out of the pocket. Do RPOs and just let Mitchell be Mitchell. Do not make him a pocket passer, because that's something he's not. Don't get away from the running game, because we can't have Mitchell throwing the ball 40 times. When we did that, we weren't even close in games. And the second question, it took me a while to think about that. Like, what do the Lions need to do to beat us? Because I obviously don't see that happening. But like Chris said as well, keep the defense on the field. Tire them out. We have a great defense, but they're not getting any younger. If they're on the field for a long time, they're obviously going to get tired, and tired players don't play as well as they do when they're more like fresh and stuff like that. So yeah, keep the defense on the field if they want to beat us. All
right. I like the confidence in your team, man. I like it. All right, Parth, man, what do you think? What do you think the Lions can do to beat the Lions? I'm sorry. What do you think the Bears can do to beat the Lions today, or what do you think the Bears can do to end up losing to the Lions today?
I think the game depends on both the quarterbacks, actually. So I'm going to go with the Bears. So Trubisky, he's been great against the Lions the last couple of years, and he just needs to do his thing against the Lions. Stay confident. He's just been a confident passer versus Lions. Like I brought up his stats earlier, 1,300 yards. 9 touchdowns and 1 interception the last 3 starts. So as long as he keeps that up, I think the Bears are fine with that. And with the Lions, Matthew Stafford hasn't played the Bears in a long time. He hasn't seen this defense. He's only seen Mac, I think, once so far with the Bears. So, and that one time he saw him, things didn't end well for Mac. Mac had that one sack that was beautiful where he just pushed over one of your guys' linemen with one hand and then got to Mac. So I think so for Stafford, he just needs to get comfortable in the pocket. He needs to do his thing like he usually does. He's a great quarterback. I know what he can do, but against this defense, it might be a little bit tougher. I think a Bears defense has taken a little bit of a toll. The media hasn't given them the credit they deserve, in my opinion. They are still a top 10, top 5, borderline top 5 defense, but people just seem to forget that. So I guess, so Matthew Stafford needs to get comfortable against this Bears defense.
Awesome, guys. Hey, well, we are so happy we were able to have you guys on today. I know you guys have to be gone by 12:30, so why don't you guys say, your final words to the chat, and just thank you guys for coming on here. Why don't you start off, Chris?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity. Regardless of what fan or what team you guys are fans of, when we started our whole journey back in about 2018, it was a lot of grinding. It was a lot of working hard, trying to get places. And fortunately enough, this offseason, we really took a big jump. But I respect all the hard work that you guys are putting in, trying to make this go somewhere. I can tell that each and every one of you guys are very dedicated about this. And I've had a lot of fun. But in regards to my final thoughts on the game, it should be a good one. I think you really can't look past this Bears defense. Throughout the offseason, you can say what you want about the Bears offense. We're going to have to see how the tight ends, the offensive line, and the run game come out later today. But you really can't doubt this Bears defense. I think a lot of people thought the Bears defense regressed, but my final thought would be this Bears defense is not a tough pass whatsoever. You remember we had cornerback 2, Prince Amukamara last year, and Kenny Galladay smoked him on a 75-yard touchdown on a go route where he made a double move from David Blau in the Thanksgiving game. So you replace him there with Jalen Johnson. Something else that's interesting is Eddie Jackson moving back to free safety. He was a strong safety last year with HaHa Clinton-Dix. Now the Bears bring in Deshaun Gibson, a grizzled veteran for sure, moving Jackson back to his natural position where he scored 5 career touchdowns at. And then finally, I mean, he's not playing, but later this season, I think Robert Quinn's going to make a big impact, and having Akeem Hicks back healthy is very, very helpful. So my final thoughts, thank you guys so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Let's definitely do it again in the future. But yeah, watch out for this Bears defense because they're definitely relentless.
Awesome, man. Thank you again. Thank you again. And Jalen, why don't you say your goodbyes to the people in the chat, man? Thank you for coming on.
Like I said, thank you guys for inviting us to do this. It was very fun talking to some Lions fans. I don't really talk to Lions fans like that because there's nothing to talk about. Very cool. But no, all fun and games. Like Chris said, thank you guys for letting us come on. I really did have fun. I see all the people watching, talking stuff about the Bears, but it's kind of funny to me. After we win this game, I want to talk to J-Mo. He was talking stuff about us, and that's about it. Thank you so much for letting us come on.
Yeah, man. When we beat you guys, you better not ghost us. We better hear from you again.
I'm not gonna back.
Only my words if you guys win. I'm not quite sure.
No, I'm not Chris. I'm gonna talk stuff till the wheels fall off.
All right. And Parth, man, why don't you say your goodbyes as well, and thank you for coming on as well.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was awesome coming on you guys' show. You guys do a great job here. I think you guys are dedicated Lions fans, and we're just dedicated Bears fans. It's just a rivalry that we got, but we all hate Packers and Vikings together. I feel like Bears and Lions fans kind of have to stick together sometimes because we've been the bottom feeders for a while, I guess you could say. So, just stick together, I guess. I hope the Bears can pull this one out. I do see the Lions having a pretty good year, especially with Stafford healthy. But yeah, thank you guys for having us on. I hope we can do this again and bear down.
Man,
awesome.
Listen. Let me just say this. Listen, y'all. I only will always have a person on here who I really believe do good work, and I'm telling you, they do good work. When they talk about any game, they are fair. They are not biased. Outside of Jalen, you see, Jalen is like that.
I'm a little biased.
Listen, Jalen is that's their 313 J-Mo. Jalen is their 313 J-Mo. He ain't finna back down. Like I be listening to their shows and he be like, somebody come in the chat and say something, and he would come. No, you're wrong. We're doing this. But listen,
we need to get Jalen and J-Mo on like a Skip and Shannon.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious. But listen, just wanted to thank you guys again. Yeah, we just want to thank you guys, man. We'll definitely doing it again. Obviously, we play 2 times a season, and definitely, like I am one of you guys, a subscriber. So we'll be doing this again, hands down. We'll probably have to come over into the Bear Cave, I guess. And you in the Lions Den right now, but we'll come to the Bear Cave and we'll talk some football. And just want to let y'all know we appreciate y'all for coming through and talk a little football with us, man. So be safe and look forward to seeing how this game turns out.
Yeah,
J-Mo in the chat. Don't run when y'all lose, Jalen.
I'm never running. Trust me.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Good luck and stay safe always. Weird time right now. All right. Be sure you stay safe. Have a good one,
guys.
Have a good one.
Yeah, I listen. I knew I had so many people that said, "Man, can we get somebody in here with a different view?" I'm like, absolutely. I'll get somebody in here, and I've been watching them guys, man, and I'm telling you, they are so fair, and I'm telling you, I've seen them talk about games and be 100% honest, and I was like, yo, these are the kind of guys that I want to talk to. So I'm working on a guy for the Vikings. Obviously, y'all know we got Packers people. We got Old Timer Dave. We got Rage MK, who ain't gonna Rage ain't gonna never walk away from talking about the Packers. But
I can't wait for next week, bro. We gotta get Rage on.
So we'll get Rage on for the Packers. The Vikings guy, me and him has been talking. Like I said, I'm trying to find people that that's a football first, and all the other stuff second. But yeah, Jalen is definitely their 313 J-Mo. That he's passionate about them Bears. Like You better not say no
Trubisky,
crazy.
he still believe in Trubisky. Like, I feel bad for the guy.
Listen,
Like,
but listen. That's how people look at you, J-Mo, with Stafford, though. They looking at you like you crazy with Stafford.
They don't. Stafford has shown me. He's shown he's a great quarterback.
Yeah, come
Trubisky
on.
has not shown that.
Well,
Like, I wanted to ask
I
him
agree.
when he was like, Trubisky, I don't really blame him for the losses last year. I wanted to ask him, since he's been there, can you give him any credit for any of the winning? Because it's always been the defense. He's just not a good quarterback. Like, I feel bad for him. You can't feel bad for having, even if you don't like Stafford, he's still top 15. Like,
and Stafford
wasn't picked. Bad.
Stafford wasn't picked over Mahomes and Watson either. So, I mean, that's a big deal too. Like, come on.
Trade it up to get
him. Listen. I think what it is he has pride for his quarterback. You know, like Terrell Owens to tell you all day, don't do Tony Romo like that. That's my quarterback. You feel me? So I think that's what that is. That's what that is.
I don't got no problem with that. You gotta believe in them, bro. Because if you don't, then it's a wrap.
Yeah. Hey, there's a couple more things I wanted to talk about before we log off. There was this, breaking news today. Matthew Stafford restructured his contract, and his entire annual salary has been converted into a signing bonus. So, Luke or Ryder, because I know Ryder always has the facts on this stuff. What do you guys have to think on this, and what does this mean for our salary cap situation?
I'll let Ryder go first.
Honestly, I don't have anything to say about this one. To be totally honest. I'm
sorry, Ryder. I should have prepared you for that. I didn't set this up, so my bad. I'll just go out and say. So this breaks down. This adds a lot of salary cap for the Lions, and what a lot of people are thinking is this means that we're going to extend Kenny Galladay with that money. But to me, I don't really understand it because we already had $30 million. Like, we could have already extended Galladay. So are they trying to make another move is my question.
There you go.
Luke, you know where I was going.
There so what you go.
Right. You know where I'm going. I'm telling you, man. They told Stafford, yo, we want to get him, but we need to move this money. We'll still give you 30 mil. Stafford was like, him? Oh, go get him then.
Who is that? Who is that him, JMO? Who is it?
I don't know who that him is. I'm gonna be honest with you, but it's a him. I don't know who it is though. Maybe it's an O-line. I don't know who it is though. To be honest, I don't have a clue.
Okay,
but it's not just Kenny Galladay. They have more than enough money for that. They did this year for a bigger move, and I'm tired of these Stafford haters talking about this man don't care about winning. He don't care about the team. Not only did he take a pay cut when he got paid, he just did this so we can add more salary cap for this year, and he restructured his deal at the back end too. So I don't want to hear no slander. But go ahead.
Okay, Luke, do you have anybody that you think we're going to grab with that extra cash?
Well, here's the thing: is you got to look at what are the Lions' needs, right? And I think there are some linebackers that have been quietly shopped around. I know that there's been some talks of possible, or at least rumors, that the Saints have a few linebackers up for trade. I know that there's been some rumors that the Bills have some linebackers up for trade. I think they are going to keep trying to improve this defense. I'm not sure on exactly who at just the moment because it just came out that he took this restructure. So I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm going to be playing around seeing more about these rumors. But I think this is a two-part thing. One part is let us get our guys signed. I think this means that they're trying to sign Davis, they're trying to sign Kenny Galladay, and I think they're also trying to make a move. That's what I think this means. Because if you look at our D line, what?
Look in the chat. If right or wrong said it could be Miles Jack. Don't right or wrong. Don't play on my emotions.
I mean, listen. I'm just telling you, it's been a lot of rumors, and you know that the Jacksonville Jaguars are fire selling.
Right.
So it could, listen, and I've been wanting Miles Jack from day one.
Yes.
So they could be trying to gear up to do something like that. I'm just saying, like that. That's the real reality. So to me, and it's so funny because it's like Stafford keeps giving and giving, and fans keep hating this man. I don't understand what else y'all can do. Oh, he made too much money. What are you getting paid this season?
Right. Yeah, no. You know what? The more fans hate him, I'll just keep loving him even harder. You know what I mean? I just got to make up for it.
I mean, but to me, this is like, I feel like I'm proud of Stafford, and I hope it turns up on the field today in the future because I feel like this year, I feel like he really want to win. I mean, maybe he's trying to retire or something, but I feel like this year he really wants to win. I always say actions speak louder than words, and we're seeing it. This man is basically on a minimum salary. He got a Brady deal. Of course, they gave him a signing bonus. Okay. But he has basically a Brady deal for this year. And I'm talking about the Super Bowl Brady deals. I love this. And I've been waiting for a power move. If we get Miles Jack, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, so something happened in the Kansas City Texans game that the announcer said that really sparked my curiosity. So I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. So when Clyde Edwards-Helaire was balling out against the Texans and he scored, over 100 yards, a touchdown, it was a great debut. They said that the Kansas City Chiefs scouting department went to Patrick Mahomes and said, what running back are you looking at? Who do you think's good in college? And he said, get that guy from LSU, get Clyde. And that made me think, when we were in the draft and they drafted DeAndre Swift, we're like, why Swift? Jonathan Taylor is there. J.K. Dobbins is there. Do you guys think, and we'll start this off with you, JMO, do you guys think they called Stafford and he was like, get me my fellow motherfucking Georgia Bulldog right now and we will ball? Do you think Stafford was involved in that Swift pick? What do you think, JMO?
At first, I thought you was about to talk about, people disrespecting Barry Sanders by even mentioning that dude's name. But I did watch that, and I thought the same. I'm glad you brought that because when I was watching, I'm like, wait, they did that with Mahomes? I'm like, I wish Stafford had that luxury. But if we were relating it to DeAndre Swift, I'm 100% on board with it because I don't know why the hell we took him.
Besides, he's a Georgia Bulldog. Besides that,
great. But it just didn't line up with anything the Lions would ever do. Taking him was even more unusual than taking Okudah.
Right.
He got rid of Slay. So as much as it was kind of weird to take Okudah, you still understood that they might want to do that. But taking Swift was like, why? I'm with you. I think Stafford was like, I want DeAndre Swift, fellow Georgia Bulldog. I've been watching him because we know Stafford's a big football fan. I'm definitely with it. And I think Darrell Bevell was like, yeah, I'm on board.
Absolutely, man. Ryder, what do you think about this, man?
I mean, it definitely makes sense. And the Lions as a team and, whoever makes the draft picks, whoever has that final decision should go to Stafford and say, you're our franchise quarterback. You are our guy. Who do you want on this team? Who do you want to be your teammate? Who do you think you're going to have the most success with? So, it wouldn't surprise me if that happened with Stafford. It wouldn't surprise me if that happens a lot more in the NFL that we don't hear about. But with him being, DeAndre Swift being a former Bulldog and, the ties that they have and the fact that they've already worked out together in the offseason before there was training camp and all that, it seems like that they're already pretty close and it seems like they're ready to go out and do their thing. So.
Yeah, I was going to bring up how hard he was on him in training camp and how they were instantly working out together. breadcrumbs, man.
Yeah. He's like, hey, man, my name is on this line. I got you in here. You better do good.
Right.
We could have got Dobbins, damn it. You better ball. All right. Luke, what do you think, man? You think Stafford was involved in that and he just pulled Swift from his alma mater? Alma mater?
No. Nope.
Okay.
I do not. I think, listen, first of all, let me just say, we did mock draft versus mock draft, and I got my butt handed to me for every time I drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the second round.
You did.
I think the Lions really wanted him. And I think when he got taken by Kansas City, they said, okay, we still need a running back who has a similar skill set. And it was Swift. I don't think it had anything to do with Stafford. I think they simply I think they really wanted Clyde Edwards-Helaire because the thing about him is he can run downhill, but his best skill set is making the first person miss consistently. And when you look at Swift can run downhill, but what can he do? He can make the first person miss consistently. And I think they really wanted him, but I think when they looked up and they said, well, okay, Swift is still there. We're going to still take a running back. I always suspected that they would take a running back in that second round or a safety, and they went with the running back. So to me, I don't think it had anything to do with Stafford. It was just a matter that the guy that they wanted was taken at 32, and they said, well, we're going to take the next best player that we had on our board.
Man, I don't know about that. I don't know about that after hearing what they were saying about Mahomes really wanted Clyde. I believe you that they might have wanted him too, the Lions. But I mean, even if he was taken, you still have Dobbins there who could do similar things, and he did them in my opinion, better than Swift in college.
That's who I wanted.
Yeah.
I think what we're doing as fans is we're looking at Dobbins and we're comparing them to what we did in the past. But I think with the Lions, if you look at the Lions formula of what they were doing, and you go and look and match it up to what the Patriots like those one cut downhill runners, and Dobbins is a one cut downhill runner, but it's not a consistent make the first person miss. He's more like Ezekiel Elliott. Let me get that contact. I'll oppose my will on you. And that's why we was like looking at the Dobbins. I think with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Swift, they're more consistent in being able to make that first guy miss and get downhill.
Okay.
I mean, but that's exactly what Kerryon does. So, but we ain't gonna get into this can of worms. We try to have positive vibes. Like we watched Kerryon last year make 3 dudes miss in the backfield just to get 2 yards. So he makes people miss and he can run downhill. Obviously, he has health issues. We all know that. Maybe that's why they still got Swift. But I know what y'all know what I'm getting at.
Right.
But,
yeah, you like Kerryon. We get it, bro.
Man.
All right. All right, guys. Well, that's it for the pregame show. We got the game coming on in about 20 minutes. We got to say our goodbyes to you guys. We appreciate every single one of you in the chat. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Really talking shit to those Bear fans. I love it so much. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button. But we are going to close out this show. Right or wrong, why don't you say your goodbyes to the people in the chat?
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. I know they're not here anymore, but thank you to the Bear Down podcast for coming on. And I am so excited to watch Lions football, and I cannot be more ready to come back tomorrow being 1-0. Like, I'm so excited. I'm ready.
All right, man. I like the confidence. J-Mo, man, what do you have to say to the people in the chat before you go?
Sign Kenny Galladay, but Lions, man, I'm talking to y'all right now. Don't do this to me again. Like, I'm for real. I'm putting my heart out there. And I watch y'all go out versus the Jets. And then I watch y'all go out versus Arizona. And let me tell you something. Arizona is 1,000 times worse than the Jets. Even though the Jets game started off great. Matt Patricia, I will never forgive you. You bet not in Stafford. If you throw 4 picks, I'll never forgive you either. Like, same energy with everybody. If you lose this game, I am finished, bro. Like, done. Benito. I'm through with this guy. But I do think we'll win this game. But Lions, y'all can't let me down today. Not against this team, man. Just not against this team. But I do want to say the post-game show will be on my channel, so you guys are going to want to check that out. We'll probably be doing it directly after the game, around 4:30-ish or something like that.
Yep.
But it's going to be fun. Shout out to all of the Bears fans. I welcome the smoke. We done had Rage on here. I don't got a problem with them talking smack. It's just once the game's over, I need to see you.
Yeah. Hey, Luke, I'm going to let you go last, but I'm just going to say, again, thank you to the Bears Down podcast, Bears Down YouTube channel. Check them out. You definitely want to be, in the loop on all of our divisional rivals. So if you watch some of any Bears YouTube channels, check out Bear Down for sure. And again, thank you everybody in the chat, and thank you everybody on the panel. It's been a great pregame show. And like J-Mo said, go to his channel for that postgame show. You do not want to miss it. If we lose, you do not want to miss it because we're going to be heated. And if we win, you do not want to miss it because we're going to be a damn nuisance. We are going to be riled up. So I am excited to see what happens. But J-Mo, I'm glad you brought the history back to temper down expectations because, like you said, against the Jets, we got blown out when we thought we were going to destroy them. Matt Patricia got me thinking that Sam Darnold was going to win the Super Bowl in his rookie year. So I don't want to hear, And then last year, it looked like a promising start. We ended up tying the game in a terrible, disastrous second half. That we let them come back. So this year, I hope the progression goes forward. And I hope we just blow out our opponent in week 1. So let's see how it goes. But temper those expectations, guys. Don't, back up from the ledge if we lose tonight. But Luke, why don't you finish off the show, man?
Hey, again, shout out to Chris, Parth, and Jalen, the Bear Down Podcast, man. Check out their channel. It is linked in the description. Appreciate them guys for coming on and coming into the Lions Den. We will certainly be going into the Bears Cave, to show some love and support, So they definitely have found them some partners in crime and this thing of sportsmanship. But in honor of them, I decided to go to one of my favorite Disney characters. Good old Baloo. That's right, good people. Good old Baloo was talking to a down Mowgli, and Mowgli was just bummed. And he tells him that things will look better in the morning. Oh, people, 2020 sucks ass, okay? And I can tell you this much, that all the bad things that have been going on, it will look better in the morning. No matter what is happening, no matter how bad it gets, no matter what you're going through, it's always going to look better in the morning. And as long as you remember that, that means that you have a new day to do something different to make yesterday no longer matter. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the game, enjoy each other, and be kind to each other. And as always, go Lions, and don't be no chump. Please do your research.